So hello everybody, today we will be looking at page layout. But before we actually start getting onto our creations, we'll have a look at the print process because it's important to sort of understand how it all works. So in today's printing we use web presses basically. These are massive machines, usually Heidelberg printers, and they feed sheets that are on continuous rolls of paper, a bit like wallpaper. They go through the machines, as you can see here in this GIF, printed on both sides. They are then collated, cut, folded, and depending on the publication, if it's a newspaper it's just folded, if it's a book or magazine it's either stapled or glued, and then it's sent off for delivery. That's how it works. So pages are impositioned, so that means when they are printed back and front like this, they are not in the order that you would assume. So imposition is like a pre-press process. It's not something that you would do, but it's good to know. So it's the arrangement of pages on the printer's sheet. So it's basically like this. As you can see, they're not lined up in an order of 1 to 8. This is for an 8-page layout. Here you can see page 2 is opposite page 6, page 7 is opposite page 3, the front is opposite page 4. Now, a better way to understand this is actually to get a piece of paper yourself, an A4 piece of paper. We'll do a quick demonstration. So the A4 piece of paper represents the big sheet on the web press. Notice how the pages are laid out. Once we fold it once, fold it twice, you then take the open corner as the bottom right hand side where the sheets are open, number all the pages as if they would appear in a book on the outer edges. So like I said, this will be an 8-page booklet for this example. So yeah, once you open it out, you'll notice that the pages aren't aligned as you would expect. So basically what happens after that, once it's folded again, which is how it would be at the printers, it is then trimmed. So once it's trimmed, and then after that it's stitched in the middle, you then get your booklet. So once it's trimmed, you can lose some of your work in your design, especially if it fits right up to the edge. So this is why you need guides when you're creating your documents. So you have a bleed basically, which is a 3mm line outside of your paper edge. So if you're doing any artwork that goes right to the edge, you go over the edge by 3mm. So when we come to designing our documents, we'll take all that into consideration. So the other thing we'll look at is paper size. So we've got newspapers and magazines. There's a variety of different types of page sizes that we use. In the UK, the traditional ones are broadsheet, tabloid and compact. So the difference are basically broadsheets are the huge ones that you always see in movies and stuff. You see spies hiding behind them. They're the massive bits of sheets of paper, and they're basically only folded twice on that big web press. They're the big sheets of rolls of paper folded twice. The reason we have broadsheet is in 1972 the British government imposed a tax on newspaper manufacturers based on the number of pages. So the newspaper companies thought, right, we'll get around this by only having 4 pages to paper and making it really massive. So that's the reason we have broadsheet. You may have noticed that tabloid and compact are pretty much the same size. So basically, the reason being is when all the high-end newspapers like the Financial Times and the Guardian, when they wanted to transition, they didn't want to use the tabloid name because obviously the stigma behind it, so they just changed the name to compact. So they have a little bit of history on newspapers. The magazines are usually nowadays use just the standard formats of the A-size papers. So for example, an A4 magazine will be 1 sheet of A3 folded in half. Okay, so for this task we will be producing a Music Magazine's double page spread. It's for an interview with Brit nominated artist Sigala. If you go to your Moodle on-demand pages, you'll see the download point for all the assets. You can use any of those. You've got the text for the interview and a press image of Sigala. It's really important you refrain from using any other images of the artists because we don't have permission for those. But use your imagination and think about using album covers, single covers, royalty-free images of crowd shots, places mentioned, and then you can upload your final designs to the upload point.